starting right off, your characters, excuse me, impact Jax in various different ways. Some push buttons, but all cross both personally and professionally. So I would like to ask each of you, and I'll start with you, Sean. How do you think that you impact Jax this season? And what do you love about the relationship that you have?
Well, what I love about the relationship is that they start by judging each other in ways that aren't fair. And then as the season goes on, they get to know each other, and it's kind of like a cat and mouse type of a dynamic where it forces them to kind of get some mutual respect, and and towards the end of the season, uh, it's really the relationship does a lot in terms of helping Jax, recall some of her past trauma and finally deal with it. And so I think that that's my character's function sort of in Jax's journey, in terms of just like really forcing her to confront her past and so that she could be a better wife and a better mother.
Yeah, I think Jackson Damon is complicated, but at the end of the day, I think what Damon represents for Jax is a query that a lot of people have, whether you're a woman or a man. You have this query of like, I wonder what would have happened if, and I think that's honest. I think that's a safe thing to wonder. The question is, how far are you willing to go to find out? And that is where the Jax and Damon dynamic starts and just continues to escalate from there.
Well, I would say if the Jax and Damon dynamic is the what if, then the Jax and Lewis dynamic is this is the present. Like, this is actually what we have. We've arrived at this moment where we've built this life together.
What now?
What is it going to look like?
Yeah. What now?
We're here. What is it going to look like if you don't change anything? Because I can see where this road is going. So it's like Michael said, and Sean, it's about that thing that makes us all human, which is no matter where we are, we're going somewhere else. And that comes with challenges. And how can we navigate that together when you have two children and you're trying to figure out ways to move things forward?
So this season, each of your characters is someone that the audience will either root for or feel like they're causing problems and beef unnecessarily. So I would like to know from each of you once again, and we'll start with McKinley, we'll go in reverse. Who do you think by the end of the season, the audience will be behind?
I think
no
by
spoilers,
the end of the
but
season,
just...
you know what? Hold on a second. I'm going to tell you by the end of the season, I'm going to tell you that by the end of the season, people are going to be behind Ramla Muhammad, Onyx Collective, and Hulu, because their ability to kind of create this segment and this specific lane, get these two amazingly talented, well sought after actors to come and make this world dynamic, and found Emma Yahtzee, who's a star in her own right. I think that's the thing. And from there, everything else is a possibility.
I like that answer.
You see what I did there?
I see what you did. I like it. We're all going to come together.
That's right. That's that press PR kung fu I just did right.
And we love that. So next question I have is, as a real LA girl, grew up in the area that some of the show takes place in, I want to know, how do you think that bringing this element of a fixer to a degree adds a different layer to a story like this?
I don't think we've seen this version of LA before, right? Like, oftentimes in LA, someone is, even in a show, there's always an actor. There's always like a musician. There's always somebody who's, involved in show business in some kind of way. And, this is a show that's showing that people live in this town and people grow up here, and they may have absolutely nothing to do with show business, thusly making them much more relatable to everybody else who doesn't live in Los Angeles County. I mean, just literally 60 miles from here, it's like too far to be in the entertainment business. And so those people are living just like people in Michigan. I mean, it really is. So I think the show is very relatable under those circumstances. And LA is just like a big city backdrop, but ultimately the people are very, very tangible. The relationships are tangible.